I started at CCA and currently,
That's
Here,
the way
shake it up,
talking.
shake it up.
Yeah, you were doing awesome, by the way. This looks really good.
Great.
Hi, I'm Emily King, a former Delph. I'm one of the 4 Delph kids that have attended CCA, and I was the second in our family to graduate. And our youngest brother, Evan, will graduate this year. Next year will be the first year in 30 years that CCA hasn't had at least one Delph enrolled. It really is a privilege for me to send this greeting to all of you there at Miss retirement celebration. It's especially meaningful to me because Anne played a very special role in my life. I started CCA in kindergarten in 1991 and graduated in 2003. Normally that's supposed to be a 13-year experience, but for me it was 14 years because I was a late bloomer. After struggling through the first semester, my kindergarten teacher, Jeannie Patterson, came to the conclusion that something was wrong. It wasn't that I didn't like school. In fact, I loved it. It was simply too early for me to be there. I was too young and I needed to go back home and let my heart and mind grow up a little before attempting kindergarten. My parents said that I would go to school happy, then come home in tears. I remember screaming in the class until I was taken home. When they asked me what was the matter, I said, I never know the answers. So my first experience at CCA was flunking out of kindergarten. But God had prepared someone to rescue me. At that time, CCA had recently hired Ann Smith to run a special program for young students with learning differences. Ann had a hunch that I was struggling because of a learning difference. So she suggested that I get tested, and those tests revealed that I had dyslexia. I took the rest of the school year off, and Anne began working with me over the summer to prepare me for the fall. I started back at kindergarten the following year in Bev McMullen's kindergarten class. I thrived, and Anne continued tutoring me almost every day for the next 3 years. She made sure that I was going to succeed, and she treated me like one of her own daughters. My parents have always told me, and I know it's true, that without Anne's intervention in my life, I would never have made it through CCA, and my life today would be very different. Anne, I want to thank you for loving me when I was just 5 years old, and for taking such ownership of my early success. I want you to know how good God has been, and that everything has turned out very well. I learned from you that I could do it, whatever it was. You gave me confidence in my ability, and you taught me the coping skills I needed to manage my learning difference. Both have made a powerful impact in my life that continues to this day. After graduating from CCA, I eventually applied to SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design, to study photography, and I received a generous scholarship awarded to incoming freshmen. I graduated in 4 years, summa cum laude. I now have an incredible career at SCAD. I work closely with the senior executive team at the university, and I travel all over the world managing special projects. People often tell me I'm confident. I know that has everything to do with a lady who loved me when I was so young and took me under her wing when I was so vulnerable. Oh, and by the way, I married the love of my life in 2010, and we now have a 3-year-old girl, Jane, who will soon be starting her own adventure in kindergarten. I pray that she is blessed to have someone like you in her life. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I travel all over the world managing social projects.
Social projects. They're kind of.
People often tell me I'm confident.
You weren't very confident with that one, though.
Not so confident. Okay, we need a Sharpie.
What does it say? And let my what?
Little heart.
Oh, that's sweet.